Greetings, folks, and welcome to today's show. We are scheduled to have a whole bunch of people flying in here about the middle of September for the AOPA annual event or semi-annual event, fly-in anyway, which they do, and we'll find out what that's all about. So our guest is Miss Karla Smith, who is planning the event here for September, what,
13th and 14th.
13th and 14th.
Yes, sir.
And going to be lots of activity. We want to find out what that's all about. So welcome and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And before we get into the meat of things, let's go ahead and take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back.
The glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron. And chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory. And marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Winchester. Check out the 2018 Ford Taurus, yours today for $24,995. That's Russell Barnett Ford on 41A in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
We're talking today, folks, with Karla Smith, who is a director for events for the AOPA, and we're going to start by asking her to tell us what the AOPA is and how does she fit into this. So what is it, and tell us about what it is, and then we'll get into your event that's coming up.
Okay, sounds great. The AOPA stands for the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association. They're based out of Frederick, Maryland, and we are the largest aviation-related organization representing pilots and aircraft owners in the country. We have about 350,000 members of AOPA,
wow.
Not just in the United States, but also internationally as well. So sort of think of us sort of like as the NRA for pilots, if you will. Our job is to help promote safety and advocacy for pilots and to help protect your freedom to fly. Is what AOPA is all about.
Okay, and you have a fly-in. I don't know how often, how regular, and you've got one coming up. So
yes, sir, we do. We do. September 13th and 14th. We're really, really excited. This year is our 80th anniversary. So Mark Baker, our CEO, wanted to do something really special to help celebrate 80 years of protecting your freedom to fly. So we have a program, an outreach program called our Regional Fly-Ins. Typically they happen, we usually have 4 a year across the country. This year we decided to only do 3, so we could sort of do bigger, more robust fly-ins in these local communities. So we started our year off at our home base in Frederick, Maryland, and also did a celebration with the D-Day Squadron there. And then we went out to Livermore, California in June, and we're going to wrap our year up here in Tullahoma, Tennessee, to end our 80th anniversary celebration. So what makes this really, really unique for us is Tullahoma is the first community and the first airport that AOPA has come back to. We were selected in 2015, and it's a really intense process to be selected. There's a lot of criteria that an airport and a community has to meet before they are awarded an AOPA fly-in. So it's really, really excited that we're coming back to my hometown twice, which again is a first. So it's exciting because again we do this all over the country, and this Tullahoma girl believes there's no place like home. So I'm excited to bring AOPA and general aviation enthusiasts and pilots back to Tullahoma.
Well, you're kind of covering the country, all right, with one in Maryland, one in California, and then you wind up in the middle of Tennessee.
In the middle of Tennessee, that's right.
So, okay. What are you expecting? What and who and how many?
What and who and how many? Well, first of all, we are praying for beautiful weather. That's in 2015. We were hit with rain, which hurt our numbers a little bit, but still it was amazing. The folks that couldn't fly in, they still hopped in their cars and drove, which speaks a lot about what Tullahoma has to offer. We are planning for beautiful blue skies. We will plan to see about 300 to 400 aircraft, potentially more. Again, this is a weather-driven event, so if planes are able to fly in, they will fly in. And we have parking facilities for about 3,000 to 4,000 cars. So we are ready for people to fly, drive, or walk, however they want to get here. We've got room for them.
Just as long as they come, huh?
As long as they come, yes, sir.
You had I think I noticed that you had a fair amount of competition for this event.
We do. It's again, we have a requested proposal that goes out to all the airports across the country, general aviation airports, and the airports submit a bid, and we go through a process of interviewing the community stakeholders, the airport stakeholders, and to see if we can be a good fit for to host an event like this, because we are asking a lot. We are asking to use hangars. We're asking to use your runways and your ramps and your tarmacs, and so we're asking a lot to let us come in here and set up a mini convention, if you will, on your airport, which sort of takes a few things out of play, and we sort of have to work around that. But we've 50 to 100 airports during the time frame that we've been doing these have applied to have a regional fly-in at their local airport.
How many have had? How many do you have for bid this time?
This time we had around 50 to come in to bid. We were doing double bids. We're bidding for the 80th anniversary celebration, which is a little larger, and then we are also accepting bids for 2021, which will be a smaller scaled version of what we're doing this round.
Each year?
Each year, yes, sir.
Okay. So you're going to, sounds like you're going to upset things out at the airport.
I'm going to upset things up at the airport.
What's going to be going on out there?
Well, again, we're going to be turning it into a mini convention for pilots and aviation enthusiasts. We will be setting up about a 100 to 200 foot structure tent. We'll have about 72 vendors, and your typical convention pipe and drape 10 by 10 booth, which is already sold out with a waiting list, which speaks volumes for Tullahoma. People are excited to be here. So we'll have a convention hall type setup there, where you can go through and talk to representatives from headsets to insurance to financing aircraft to other new safety features that are going on with in aviation, and a lot of our fun, neat nonprofits such as Pilots and Paws that help fly rescue dogs around the country to new owners. So it's a lot of interesting, exciting things will be happening in the exhibit hall. Also during this time frame, we're going to have lots of seminars and classes going on, not just for your current pilots to learn what's going on in aviation, but for folks who are thinking about wanting to learn to fly. There will be classes for them as well, and seminars that they can sit in on and learn about potentially getting their pilot's license and joining folks flying in the air. We'll also have some career-related seminars as well. So if you are looking for a career, there is a pilot shortage. And so we would love to ask you to come and just sort of listen and and just thinking about the possibilities of having a career in aviation.
You mean if I wanted to start off and learn how to be a pilot, I could get a job?
We could get it. You would get you a job. We will get you a job.
Full time?
Full time.
Ah. Well, that's interesting. I don't often hear much of anything about it being an available career path.
It is. It's very much so. There's a large push right now for pilots, and especially women in aviation. There's a big need.
And there's one aspect that I hadn't heard much about either. You mentioned, you used the term something like preserving the right to fly. Is there a problem there in terms of restricting?
There is. We've had some issues come up from having to redo basic med, which was making it more difficult for folks to get their pilot's license and to qualify to become a pilot. And then also one of the things that we were working really hard at AOPA was against the privatization of ATC, air traffic control. We didn't really want to see air traffic control to go to a corporate organization. We wanted to stay in place how it is. It's working really well.
Well, it hadn't always worked really well.
It's working better than going to a private entity.
Yeah, well, I guess, although you haven't tried one yet. Okay, and universities, you're expected to be represented among your vendors.
Yes, sir. MTSU and other Auburn and other organizations like that, colleges will be on hand to talk
Auburn offers a...
Mm-hmm. They do. Auburn has one of the top ones in the country. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
They just opened a satellite university in Gulf Shores, Alabama, as a matter of fact. Strictly aviation.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, how you're going to have parties and seminars and vendors, as you've mentioned, universities that are offering degrees, and what have you got in the way of the major commercial events that might be coming out of this? Is there anything in particular?
There's going to be some really neat things for folks to do. We are going to have a STOL competition, invitational, which is a short landing and takeoff competition. So we've got folks coming in that are going to be able to take off and land in a really short amount of time. It's really fascinating to watch. We're going to do it on the grass runway in front of the terminal. We're going to use the grass runway for that. Yes, sir. So that's going to be really fascinating to see. We're also going to have some aerial acts. Lee Louderback and his P-51 Mustang is going to do an aerial demonstration on Friday evening and on Saturday around noon. And Jeremy Holt is going to come in his Pitts, a little biplane, and also do an aerial performance for us. Now, Friday night, weather permitting, what we're really excited about is the Great Lakes Drone Company is going to come and do a nighttime drone show for us. They're the folks that did the Super Bowl drone show, and if you saw that during the Super Bowl. But Great Lakes is going to come. We're going to have about a 100-ship drone night show on Friday night.
Well, that's kind of interesting. I hadn't really thought about getting into that, but the drone sounds like the drone and the airplane business would be competitive, and to some extent they are, huh? And we'll ask you to come back to that. And meanwhile, let's take another short commercial break, folks, and we'll be right back.
Barnett here at Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC in Winchester. Check out the 2019 Chevrolet Impala, up to 19% off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC on the bypass in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
We're talking today, folks, with Karla Smith, who is the Director of Events for the AOPA, which is the Aviation Owners and Pilots Association. Did I get that approximately right?
Pretty close.
It's kind of a mouthful. And we're having a fly-in event September, the middle of the month, 12th, 13th, 14th?
13th and 14th.
13th, 14th September. It's a big deal. Going to have a couple of thousand airplanes flying in here all over, and we want to, it's really a big deal for Tullahoma, and we need to be smart about that and know what to do with it. In fact, well, we started before the break to talk a little bit about drones in connection with aviation, and it sounds like they're terrific competitors, but are we going to have room for both?
We're going to have room for both. That's the goal here, is to find a good common ground where both drones and general aviation can work together, and the ultimate goal is to keep everybody safe and protected. So we're on a path of being able to do both, and trying to help keep the drone pilots and the drone community educated on how to safely operate the drones.
Are those two communities going to be able to get along? Is that feasible?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on. This is a pretty big deal, as I say. We've got well, you said 300 or 400 airplanes for sure, maybe more, and an even larger number of people coming in by car. So there's going to be a big impact on Tullahoma all the way around, not just Tullahoma, but the surrounding community. So tell us a little bit about what sort of impact are you expecting to Tullahoma with this event?
With typically, and we run our average numbers post-event. Again, we do them across the country. The average economic impact of one of our fly-ins is around $700,000 for the local community. With our production cost, our hotel, we book up your hotels. So I've got 100 staff folks and exhibitors and 100 staff coming in, and then we have around 250 exhibitors. So hotel rooms are going quickly. They're all, so we're having to reach out to the local area for our guests to come and stay. But from hotels to rental cars to eating in our local restaurants and doing shopping here, it's a really big deal for a 2-day event for Tullahoma. Okay.
And you occasionally have a little lasting impact of that, don't you?
We do.
Folks come into Tullahoma and decided they liked it?
It's really, really cool. With my job as a senior manager of aviation events and sponsorships, I get to do a lot of traveling across the country, and especially during Oshkosh, which is the largest air show in the United States. It's really interesting when you start talking to folks, and they ask you, of course, where are you from, and I discuss Tullahoma. People in the aviation world, they know Tullahoma. They know the Beechcraft Heritage Museum. I know I'm partial, but there's no doubt that the Beechcraft Heritage Museum is the top aviation-related museum in the country. It's just phenomenal. And folks, they travel here to come see the museum, spend the night,
top museum in the country.
It is. It's beautiful. My personal opinion is it's the best one in the country. Yeah. You have so much history right there at the Beechcraft. But pilots want a place to come fly and enjoy themselves and spend the weekend. So that's one of the big things with these fly-ins that we're encouraging is for people to hop in their plane and go to a destination and spend time in that community and eat in their restaurants, stay in their hotels, and just explore what the town has to offer.
Okay. $700,000 overall generally, huh?
Yes, sir.
And do you get any, does that extend into shopping?
Yes,
Are
sir.
we attractive enough as a shopping stop?
We are. A lot of our, when we do our surveys, we have found that about 25% of our guests that do answer our survey, they do some type of shopping in the town. So from run into Walmart or Lowe's to pick up something to going down to some of our more, to the mall, to other shops across town. They do seem to see an impact from that.
Okay, very good. But the Beechcraft Museum is a big one, huh?
It is. The Beechcraft Heritage Museum is a big one.
Yeah.
That and Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels and George Dickel are right in there as well as places to visit.
Yeah, good. What do you expect from the folks in Tullahoma? We need to make sure that they're aware this is going on, and it will have a sizable impact on everything in town.
It will.
For those 2 days.
Have a little bit of patience with us in car parking. You will see an increase of automobile traffic. We're working with the wonderful folks of the city. Fire and police have been phenomenal as always to help with the traffic flow and the safety needs. So just be a little patient with us as we try to get automobiles in and out from the airport and with the parking, and just be what Tullahoma's all about. Just meet everybody with a smile and that good old Southern hospitality that we're known for.
Oh, is that right? You expecting us to act like we welcome these folks in?
Yes, sir. Please. I'm asking as a favor.
Okay. And how about volunteers? Do you need help out there?
We would love to have some volunteers. If you're interested in volunteering, you can go to AOPA.org and then under events and click on the Tullahoma link, or also under our identifiers, which for non-aviators, the identifier for Tullahoma is THA. So click under that link, and if you'd like to volunteer, we'd love to have you. You'll get a really, really cool t-shirt and hat, and we'll feed you a meal while you're volunteering for us, and we'll make sure you're hydrated and have snacks during your time. So we'll take very, very good care of you. But there's 2 classifications, airside, which you need to be over 18 years old, and a licensed pilot, because we have aircraft coming in, so you've got to understand the rules and regulations for dealing with aircraft and aircraft parking. If you're not a pilot, I'd love to have you on the show side. So we'll be doing everything from getting everything ready on the show side for the event. So we'd love to have you.
You're not expecting all your volunteers to be pilot rated, are they?
We don't. We have a good mix of both.
Yeah.
And it's really exciting. A lot of our members, and we've got several members that's their hobby. They travel they fly in to all of our fly-ins and come work on the airside operations. So we have a phenomenal airside team, and we usually average around 200 pilots that'll come in and help us park aircraft.
Wow, that's good. Yeah. And I noticed last time, I don't know whether you're going to have a repeat or not, there seemed to be a lot of interest in the fact that in terms of the community welcome them in, that on Saturday morning the mayor turned up out there at your last event and baked pancakes.
He did. Lane, and it's been fun to use that, because we've used Lane across the country as the first mayor to step up and put his money where his mouth is, if you will. He stepped up and he volunteered and he flipped pancakes, and so we've sort of thrown that challenge out to other communities and have their mayor do the same. But Lane started that, so he started that.
Well, you said you were going to do. You were going to cook breakfast 2 mornings.
We'll have breakfast 2 mornings in a row on Friday and Saturday. Yes, sir. We will. Friday night we're going to have a flight line cookout right there on the grass. Around the aircraft. It's going to be really beautiful. Fire Chief Chastain's going to let me have a fire pit out there. So it's going to be a really neat grassroots kind of barbecue on the grounds out there as well. It'd be a great place to watch the
Anybody's
stoll.
welcome.
Anybody's welcome.
Everybody's welcome.
Everybody's welcome. I would strongly suggest, though, that you go to AOPA.org and purchase your dinner ticket in advance, because it does sell out. We'll have room for about 1,000 folks, and so far, everyone we've done so far this year, it's sold out. So if there's something you're interested in doing, buy your ticket in advance.
That's Saturday night.
Yep, and then they'll have food trucks for lunch on Friday and Saturday for folks.
Sure. Okay. Well, there you go, folks. She's tossed out the challenge to all of us here to make sure that we're a welcoming community. We're going to have a lot of visitors, and we'd like to have them come back. And it's very good economically for the community. So with that, we need to take a short break and wrap up, folks.
Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental has proudly served your auto rental for over 30 years. Check out this huge selection to choose from. Small car, mid-size car, full-size car, crossover vehicle, SUV, minivan, pickup trucks, 12 and 15 passenger vans. Whether big or small, Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental has them all. Stop by our 2 locations to serve you, Tullahoma and in Winchester. And remember, my question is, why rent anywhere else?
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
We've been talking today, folks, with Karla Smith, who is the Director of Events for the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association. A big deal. They're having a fly-in in the middle of September, and Tullahoma is going to be a very busy place, focused around the airport. Karla, thanks for coming on and sharing the information with us.
Thanks for having me.
You got anything you'd like to say to the community?
Would love to have everyone come out and spend the day with us on Friday and Saturday. Come out and see what all the airport has to offer. Then just look at the aircraft and get a good bite of something to eat and just spend the day with us. We're really excited to be here and really excited to have this back in Tullahoma.
Well, all of the individual pilots that's coming in here are going to have to be parked out at the airport, and is it going to be possible for people just kind of roam around and look at all the airplanes? You're going to have a lot of different airplanes.
We will have a static display where everyone can look at them, but because some of the safety issues with having an aerial performance, we don't need people walking across an active taxiway.
Oh, yeah.
But there will be there'll be plenty of aircraft for people to take a look at.
Yeah, okay. All right, very good. Well, again, thanks, Karla, for taking time, and good luck on your show, and I'm sure you're going to put on a good event. So with that, folks, we thank you for inviting us into your parlor, and we'll see you next time.